Hey guys, it's Mike from Lumin Lights, and this is going to be a quick tutorial for one of our customers, but actually might benefit many more of you. We're going to do a quick connection and control a Thunderblast Pro, one of our outdoor architectural fixtures, with our 192 DMX control board. It's a basic hardware controller. Now, I always advocate computer control just because you have more channels, you can do more with it, but there are people that are just doing very simple colors, very simple patterns, not a lot of fixtures, want to keep costs down or keep the learning curve down. In that case, a hardware controller works out great. So, we have our Thunderblast Pro. First thing we need to do is connect the outdoor power connector. There's a regular standard 3-prong plug on the end of this, and these simply snap apart. There is a waterproof gasket on the end of these, and basically just match up the ends, connect them together like so, and then take the nut and screw it on, and that's going to pull this tight and compress that seal inside, that O-ring, to make a waterproof seal. Next up, we need to connect up if you're going straight to the control board like in this example, you have the DMX cables look like this. This is not a standard DMX cable that you can plug into the controller or into any DMX board or computer dongle. You need this special adapter cable, which goes from the outdoor waterproof type plug, which you can see here, to a standard male XLR. So just like the power cords, we're going to just match this up. There's a flat side on one end of the plug inside and a flat side on the male end, so just match those up so they connect. Now we have a standard DMX connection, and we're going to connect that to the back of our control board right here to the DMX out. So that's in. We'll switch on our board in just a second. First thing we want to do though on the Thunderblast Pro is we want to set our channel. Now this is already plugged in and powered. There's no display because it turns off after a few seconds, but if you press the menu button, you'll see we're in slave mode. I press it again. Program 4, the light is flashing, doing various built-in programs. Auto, it's going to fade from one color to another. We want to get to the DMX settings. The next, press D. There we are, DMX address. And we're going to control this light starting on DMX address 1. So I'm going to use the up and down arrow keys. Excuse me. There we go. I'm going to use the up and down arrow keys to bring this down to 1. There we go. That's up and down, and then enter. And then 3-channel mode is basically going to be controlling red, green, and blue. We can also go up 4-channel mode, which is going to be master dimmer, red, green, and blue. 6-channel mode, which has some built-in shows. And back to 1-channel, which has a whole bunch of built-in shows. And you can look at the DMX manual on that if you're controlling it via DMX. But for this example, we're going to do simple 3-channel mode. So I'm going to hit enter. And now that is saved. Now the unit is waiting for instruction from an external controller, which we have right here. I'm going to pan this over a little bit and zoom in so you can see it. Alright, now I have a tutorial on this board already, so this may be a little redundant for those of you who have seen it. The first thing we want to do, right on the back here, we want to flip on our power switch, and you'll see that the LED lights come on over here. And we've assigned the Thunderblast Pro to DMX address 1. That starting address is 1. And DMX starting address on the board in the fixtures section corresponds to button 1. So I'm going to press on button 1, and you're going to see now that the LED has turned on, indicating that fixture 1 is now active. Now the faders here are corresponding to the channels of the light, or the DMX channels. So this slider 1 is DMX address 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now since this light, we put it in 3-channel DMX mode, red, green, and blue, we're only going to be using these 3 channels. We're going to be using the red, the green, and the blue. So if you watch here, when I move up the fader, the red should come on the red LED should turn on. And they don't. So you're wondering what happened. The board is defective, it doesn't work. No, the board is not defective. But what happened is On the back of the unit, there is a polarity switch on the mixing board. If you can see that right there. And depending on how your fixtures are wired, if they're from Europe, sometimes the polarities are reversed. Simply flip the switch the other way. You see the light turned off now because it was all white. It shouldn't have been white. I'd moved fader 1, which should have just been red. So now when I move fader 1, I've got red. And when I move fader 2, move fader 1 down, and I move up fader 2, there's green, and fader 3 is our blue. Now there's also a blackout button on this board, which is over here on the end, right where my hand is. Let's turn down our green so you can see that. And if you hit the blackout button, actually I gotta turn this on now, we'll turn it to blue. If I hit the blackout button, the lights turn off because that's what a blackout button does. It basically turns the lights off. Now, if you have the polarity set right, everything was working, and then all of a sudden you realize, hey, I got no control over the lights, check your LCD display. If you have a little blinking green light right next to the word blackout, you have your blackout button on. Just click the button again to turn blackout off and to turn the lights back on. So that's a basic setup, how to just get the controller talking to the lights, how to set up the channels. You can do some programming with this board, and the more extensive video we did on this controller will cover that. Hope this was helpful in getting you up and running, and if you have any further questions, please give us a call at luminlights.com.